Step into the world of football's unsung heroes, players who embody humility, kindness, and authenticity. Join us as we uncover the genuine personalities behind the jerseys and celebrate the down-to-earth spirit that sets these athletes apart on and off the field. Number 10. Son Heung-min. Spurs forward Son's persistent and infectious smile is no act, judging by the many stories of kindness and decency that have been attributed to him, which range from huge donations to the victims of both coronavirus and a forest fire in South Korea, to the time he used his hands to make a little roof over the head of a Sheffield United mascot on a rainy night in 2019. Apparently, he also takes the time to really look after the backroom staff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, even those well away from the football side of the club. He's brought in high-class Korean chefs to make lunch for people working at the training ground and even sends thoughtful farewell cards to office staff when they leave the club. In other words, he somehow isn't too good to be true. And no, that time he fouled one of the players at your club, he didn't show his true colors, as people said on Twitter. Some people are just relentlessly nice. Number 9. Tyrus Dolan. The Blackburn Rovers winger lost his best friend, fellow Manchester City Academy player Jeremy Whiston, to suicide 3 years ago, an experience which he has spoken about movingly on many occasions, and which has become the inspiration for his desire to help other people with mental health issues, both in football and outside of the sport, as well as being an ambassador for the Go Again charity, which provides mental health support to players and coaching staff at various levels of sport. The infectiously upbeat player also took time during the coronavirus lockdown to have one-on-one video chats with Blackburn fans who were struggling. A deeply decent man who puts his time and effort, as well as his money, where his mouth is. Number 8. Aisat Yusuf Aramire. The former Nigeria international didn't have the easiest time getting into football as a child. Her parents used to punish and even beat her for playing, and apparently they didn't change their attitudes until they saw her singing the national anthem while lining up for her country's under-20 side. Now retired, Yusuf Aramire has dedicated her post-football life to helping young women in the sport, as well as running the She Football Initiative, which not only helps women get into the sport, but also provides help and support to victims of abuse and violence. She is a professional women's sports instructor and coaches not one, but 2 different teams in her adopted home country of Finland. That's a lot of hard work, and by the sound of it, a lot of young women are in a better place as a result. Number 7. Steven Naismith. The former Rangers and Everton forward made a respectable impression as a forward throughout his career, but for all his achievements on the field, including making over 50 appearances for the Scottish national team, the biggest impression he made has been as a person. Naismith is a patron, promoter, and active volunteer with a bewildering number of charities, whose work ranges from support for homeless people to help for dyslexic children and assistance to injured service personnel. During his playing career, he annually visited homeless charities in Glasgow and Liverpool to help serve Christmas dinners. The only black mark on his record is the time he paid for free Everton tickets to be given to job seekers on Merseyside. Unemployment is already hard enough without having to sit through that. Number 6. Jack Grealish. If you're playing a game of word association, the first things that come to mind with Grealish are usually things along the lines of hairband or alcohol, but it should perhaps simply be kind. Grealish has done a huge amount of work with sick and disabled children, including a bewildering number of visits and donations, and the depth of his work makes it abundantly clear that he isn't doing it for show. Oh, now touch. He wrote a letter in Braille to a young blind fan, for instance, and famously celebrated a World Cup goal for England with a dance suggested by a child with cerebral palsy, whom Grealish had visited. Grealish's own sister has cerebral palsy, and his brother passed away when he was young. Experiences which have made him a generous and very decent person, as well as giving him a great deal of empathy for children facing all manner of battles in their lives. We could all stand to be a little more Grealish sometimes. Number 5. Juan Mata. When you say humble, you can only imagine a bunch of footballers from this generation. Manchester United's Juan Mata has to be one of them. The Spaniard has always been calm and collected in nature. Mata is loved and respected by his teammates, coaches, and also fans. His gentle and amicable nature makes him a favorite among the players. Mata also has different interests beyond football. He's a well-educated scholar and has 2 bachelor's degrees in sports science and marketing. He enjoys his simple life, and after his career as a player, we may very well see him dive into coaching. Number 4. Andres Iniesta. Number 2. Sadio Mane. The flashy Liverpool winger Sadio Mane is anything but flashy off the field. He enjoys a simple lifestyle and is probably among the most humble footballers. Mane came from very tough surroundings, and therefore, he tries to help youngsters like him, who want to move to Europe from Africa. He has built a hospital, school, and mosque in his hometown back in Senegal. In an interview, he shared how he had a tough childhood with poverty, and therefore, he donates most of his money to charity to help the needy. He believes in giving back to the community from where he came and became a prominent name. Mane values the support of fans. Number 1. N'Golo Kanté. Kanté's stories of humility and living a simple life have reached every corner of the world. The Chelsea midfielder handles a lot of chaos in midfield, but he sports a calm attitude off the field. The down-to-earth Frenchman has a very simple lifestyle, far from the glitz or glamour that footballers generally enjoy. Kanté is always soft-spoken and smiling and is loved by all, even by rival fans. He always finds time for the fans and has spoken multiple times about their invaluable appreciation and support. There are stories of him visiting a Chelsea fan's wedding and also consoling an upset Arsenal fan after defeating them on the field. The Frenchman is so shy and humble that he hesitated to ask his teammates to hand him the World Cup after winning it for France in 2018.